I wonder what I'll do for the final project. What is the best way that I can visually represent how I will evaluate methods of creating a literate environment and design how I will create a literate environment to enhance student learning in the English language arts and across other disciplines? I could draw something. No, I'm a terrible artist. I could write a song? No, I don't even know how to play the piano. What if I take an empty space and literally design my very own classroom? What better way could I visually represent my literate environment than that? I could actually display all the elements and represent what it would look like right when a student walks in. This isn't enough space though. Okay, how do I even start? In class and in my second knowledge build, the concept of free writing was addressed. It promotes creation over stagnation by providing a free space without fear of failure. I'm a big supporter of free writing, and it definitely will be a part of my literacy environment. So maybe if I take this concept, just walk around and don't stop moving or thinking, my literate environment will simply materialize before my eyes. Okay, that isn't working. I'll need to really reflect and connect to the course's materials. Should I just set up a novel study of The Giver? Maybe I'll make a huge pile of reading comprehension tests. No, it isn't about the resources. I need to start with the curriculum, focusing on the verb or the outcome to deliver accurate lessons. It will also be helpful to organize the outcomes as I have done previously to get a clear focus of my long-term plans and plan with the end in mind. I could start with surface lessons, moving into deeper and transfer as students familiarize themselves with the content and the big ideas. Okay, this plan for my plan sounds like a plan. Let's divide and organize these outcomes. Okay, what next? Well, when I think of literacy, I think books. If I think of the article Every Child Every Day, the first header is that every child reads something he or she chooses. Therefore, I'll need to provide different reading options for my students to increase their engagement and autonomy. I can then start to use these books as resources to support my outcomes and my students' learning. Continuing off the article, the fourth header states every child talks with peers about reading and writing. This speaks to how I will start to incorporate reading circles, dice games, writing prompts, or other activities that enhance discussion and reflection. Okay, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Do I even have any books in here? This is starting to take form, but what next? Well, above all else, I want to provide students with a space to express their creativity, develop their personal voice, and excel in an area unique to them. So for my literacy environment, I will want to provide differentiated instruction, assessment, and project-based learning whenever it is suitable for the verb of the outcome. I know as a student I would have loved more opportunities to submit video projects or creative pieces, and I wish to provide my students with a similar opportunity for individuality, exploration, and exhibition. When the learning is more personally meaningful, students will engage with the learning. So to display that visually, how am I doing so far? Actually, that reminds me. Assessment. Along with addressing what the students are learning and why it is important, I need to clearly outline how this learning will be demonstrated. This will include formative assessment and feedback, divided into teacher to student, and student to self-reflection. I'll want to scaffold the students' understanding and provide feedback in my assessment that will allow students to grow and improve. As a coach, my primary goal is strengthening the students' learning, using a sports analogy. If summative assessment is the game on the weekend, formative assessment is the practice throughout the week that helps students work towards their own version of success come game day. When it comes to summative assessment, I do want to provide projects if it serves the outcome. However, sometimes the verb really would be better served by a test or more traditional assessment tool. So to display assessment, okay, now it probably wouldn't hurt to spiral all of this material. Okay, so far I've addressed how I will create a literacy environment that will include writing, reading, planning, assessment, and differentiation. These elements that were discussed throughout EDS 362 certainly will work to enhance student learning. Now what else do I want to include? Well, I want to incorporate the community, so maybe I'll open the garage door. I'll want to consider how I'll lay out my classroom and seat students for collaboration, so I could pull out some tables. I also want to display student work in my class. In terms of how I'll carry myself, I want to be genuine, responsive, humorous, adaptive, and collaborative. I want to exude passion for the English language arts. This is really starting to sound like an enriching literacy environment. How have these ideas been displayed visually in my mock classroom? These ideas were communicated a lot better in my head. Maybe I could still submit a picture of this? It might still make a bit of sense? I'll just write a paper instead.